Are you ready to embrace the wisdom of the ancients and make 2025 your most powerful year yet? In this video, we're diving into 11 powerful Stoic don'ts that will transform how you think, act, and live. Imagine waking up every day with unshakable clarity and purpose, no matter what life throws at you. That's the power of Stoicism, a timeless philosophy practiced by figures like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca. It's about mastering your emotions, staying grounded, and focusing only on what truly matters. Welcome to Virtual Stoic, where we bring ancient wisdom into the modern world. Let's explore the 11 Stoic don'ts that will help you live your best life in 2025. Number 1. Don't speak more than you listen. One of the core principles of Stoic philosophy is mastering the art of self-control, and this includes how we communicate. In our modern world, with social media, constant notifications, and the pressure to always be expressing ourselves, it's easy to fall into the habit of speaking more than we listen. However, the Stoics, particularly philosophers like Epictetus, believed that speaking too much can reveal more about our impulsive nature than about true wisdom. In fact, they advocated for silence as a tool of self-discipline and reflection. When you speak more than you listen, you lose the opportunity to absorb valuable information and insights from others. By listening carefully, you not only learn from others' experiences, but also develop empathy and understanding. This listening is an active process. It's not just about being quiet while waiting for your turn to speak. It's about paying attention to every word, reading between the lines, and truly considering the perspectives of those around you. The Stoics also understood that speaking too much can dilute the impact of your words. When you speak less, your words become more intentional, more thoughtful, and more powerful. You avoid the risk of saying something you might later regret or that might harm relationships. In 2025, strive to speak only when you have something meaningful to add to the conversation. Whether in personal relationships, professional settings, or social media, choose to listen more than you speak. This not only makes you more present and engaged, but it will also allow you to develop a deeper understanding of the world and those around you, leading to greater wisdom and peace of mind. Listening more than speaking is one of the simplest ways to elevate your conversations and your life. Number 2. Don't react emotionally to external events. One of the most powerful aspects of Stoicism is its emphasis on the control we have over our own reactions. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus taught that while we cannot control the events that happen in our lives, we do have complete control over how we respond to them. In 2025, this principle is more relevant than ever, especially in a world where external events, whether personal setbacks, global crises, or the opinions of others, seem to constantly challenge our emotional balance. When we react emotionally to external events, we allow ourselves to be governed by impulses, which often lead to regret, frustration, or even anger. These knee-jerk reactions not only cloud our judgment, but also rob us of the ability to think rationally and act in accordance with our values. The Stoics believed that emotions, while natural, should not control our actions. Instead, they saw emotions as signals, temporary states that arise in response to an event, but that should not dictate our behavior. By practicing emotional detachment, the Stoics suggested we could step back, pause, and reflect before reacting. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending they don't exist. It means acknowledging the emotion, understanding its source, and then making a deliberate choice about how to respond. This approach cultivates inner peace and resilience, as it allows you to maintain calm and clarity no matter what happens around you. In 2025, try to adopt this Stoic mindset by taking a moment of pause before responding to difficult situations. Instead of reacting impulsively with frustration, fear, or anger, challenge yourself to observe your emotions without judgment. Ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? And what is the most rational, constructive response I can offer? This mindset will not only help you handle challenges with greater poise, but also lead to a more balanced, empowered life. When you stop reacting emotionally to external events, you reclaim your power and put yourself back in the driver's seat of your own life. Number 3. Don't chase approval from others. One of the most damaging habits we can develop in modern life is the constant pursuit of external validation. Whether it's through social media likes, praise from colleagues, or approval from friends and family, many people tie their self-worth to the opinions of others. The Stoics, however, understood that seeking validation outside ourselves is a path to insecurity and dissatisfaction. In 2025, It's essential to break free from this cycle and embrace the Stoic perspective. Your worth is not determined by others' approval, but by your own actions, values, and self-discipline. The Stoics believed that the only true source of validation comes from within. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, regularly reminded himself not to seek the praise of others, as it can lead to an unsteady sense of self. When you rely on external validation, you open yourself up to a life of constant need for approval, which ultimately leads to frustration and a lack of control. What happens when you don't receive the praise you were hoping for? You feel disappointed, less confident, or even resentful. This is the trap of living for the approval of others. By contrast, the Stoics emphasize focusing on what you can control: your actions, character, and choices. Instead of chasing the fleeting approval of others, invest your energy into aligning your life with your own values and principles. When you act according to what you believe is right, you cultivate inner confidence and self-respect. This is the foundation of true self-worth. In 2025, ask yourself, are you living your life to meet your own standards, or are you constantly seeking the approval of those around you? When you shift your focus to internal validation, you free yourself from the endless chase for recognition and place your energy into what truly matters, living with integrity and purpose. It's in these moments of self-reliance that you'll find not only peace, but also true fulfillment. Stop chasing approval from others and start living a life driven by your own inner compass. Number 4. Don't overcomplicate simple decisions. In a world filled with endless options, advice, and opinions, it's easy to fall into the trap of overthinking and overcomplicating decisions, especially when they seem relatively simple at first glance. The Stoics believed in the importance of clarity, simplicity, and rationality, and they would encourage us to resist the urge to overcomplicate even the most straightforward choices. In 2025, we need to remember that not every decision requires deep deliberation or intense emotional investment. Many of life's decisions can be made with a clear, level-headed approach, allowing us to avoid unnecessary stress and confusion. Overcomplicating simple decisions often stems from fear of making the wrong choice, fear of judgment, or fear of regret. This constant analysis can lead to indecision, wasted time, and even paralysis. The Stoics, however, practiced making quick, thoughtful decisions based on reason, rather than being bogged down by emotions or external pressures. As Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This philosophy encourages us to approach decisions with calmness and efficiency. When you find yourself overcomplicating a simple choice, take a moment to ask yourself, what is the most logical and straightforward action I can take? Often, the simplest solution is the best one. Stoicism teaches us that complexity is often a product of our own unnecessary mental chatter. By adopting a minimalist mindset, you can cut through the noise and make decisions with clarity and purpose. In 2025, practice the art of simplifying your decision-making. Whether it's choosing what to eat, deciding how to spend your time, or figuring out how to approach a task, aim to remove unnecessary layers of complexity. Trust in your ability to make decisions based on your values, your priorities, and your reason, without getting bogged down by the fear of making the perfect choice. Simple, decisive action often leads to greater satisfaction, less stress, and more efficient use of your time and energy. Incorporating this Stoic practice into your daily life can help you stay focused, calm, and productive, avoiding the mental overwhelm that often accompanies unnecessary overthinking. Number 5. Don't allow comfort to dull your growth. The pursuit of comfort is a natural instinct for most people. After all, who wouldn't want to live a life free from discomfort, struggle, and hardship? However, the Stoics viewed comfort as a potential trap, one that could prevent growth, hinder resilience, and ultimately weaken our character. In their eyes, true growth comes not from avoiding discomfort, but from embracing challenges and pushing beyond what is familiar and easy. In 2025, this Stoic lesson remains critical. Don't allow the pursuit of comfort to stunt your development. Comfort, while soothing, can breed complacency. When you settle into a routine that feels easy and safe, you risk stagnating, whether it's in your physical fitness, intellectual growth, or emotional resilience. The Stoics, particularly figures like Seneca and Epictetus, believed that hardship and challenges were opportunities for growth and self-mastery. They regularly put themselves in situations of discomfort to strengthen their minds and bodies, knowing that only by stepping outside of their comfort zones could they build the fortitude required to live a meaningful life. In 2025, consider how often you seek out comfort and avoid situations that challenge you. Whether it's staying in a job that doesn't excite you, avoiding difficult conversations, or choosing the easy way out in the face of adversity, these actions may feel good in the moment, but they prevent you from reaching your true potential. Stoic philosophy urges you to face discomfort head-on, to choose the path of difficulty that leads to personal growth. It's about being willing to endure hardship, whether physical, mental, or emotional, because it is through this adversity that we refine our strength and build resilience. The next time you feel the urge to choose comfort over challenge, ask yourself, is this decision helping me grow, or is it keeping me stagnant? Whether it's picking up a new skill, pursuing a challenging goal, or facing an uncomfortable truth, step into discomfort with the knowledge that it's an essential part of your growth. Stoicism teaches us that true progress lies in overcoming obstacles, not avoiding them. By rejecting the allure of constant comfort and seeking out discomfort, you'll unlock new levels of growth, resilience, and wisdom. Key elements to living your best life in 2025 and beyond. Number 6. Don't allow comfort to dull your growth. Comfort is often seen as the ultimate goal, a state of ease and pleasure where we feel secure and relaxed. However, the Stoics knew that true growth and self-mastery come from discomfort, not comfort. In fact, they taught that seeking comfort too often can lead to stagnation, complacency, and a life of mediocrity. For the Stoic, the pursuit of virtue, wisdom, and personal development was far more important than a life of ease. In 2025, we must recognize that stepping out of our comfort zones is crucial to unlocking our full potential. Comfort zones are seductive. They create a false sense of security and safety, tricking us into thinking we've reached our limits. The Stoics would argue that it's precisely when we're comfortable that we are no longer growing. Life's greatest lessons, challenges, and achievements often come from moments that make us uncomfortable, whether that's facing our fears, confronting painful truths, or taking on ambitious goals. When we continuously seek comfort, we're effectively saying no to the challenges that shape our character, build resilience, and expand our capabilities. Think about the areas of your life where comfort has dulled your growth. Perhaps you've stayed in a job that doesn't challenge you, or avoided physical exercise because it feels difficult. Maybe you've stayed in relationships or routines that feel comfortable but don't push you to improve. The Stoic approach would be to recognize these comfort zones as obstacles to your personal growth and take deliberate actions to step outside them. In 2025, make it a priority to seek discomfort as a tool for growth. Take on new challenges, put yourself in unfamiliar situations, and embrace moments of difficulty. Whether it's pursuing a new skill, taking risks that feel intimidating, or confronting your own weaknesses, these moments of discomfort are the very things that will transform you. Stoicism teaches us that it is through adversity that we become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Comfort may feel good in the short term, but it will ultimately dull your growth if you let it control your life. In contrast, embracing discomfort will push you towards greater achievements and a deeper understanding of yourself. By rejecting the allure of comfort and welcoming the discomfort that accompanies growth, you'll live a more dynamic, fulfilling, and impactful life in 2025. Number 7. Don't waste time on what you can't control. One of the most powerful Stoic teachings is the distinction between what is in our control and what is not. The Stoics understood that life is full of events, circumstances, and other people's actions that are beyond our influence. However, the key to a peaceful and purposeful life lies in our ability to focus solely on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and responses. In 2025, it's crucial to recognize that spending time and energy on things outside of our control only leads to frustration, stress, and wasted effort. When we focus on things we cannot change, whether it's the weather, the actions of others, or the state of the world, we waste precious time and mental energy. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, often reminded us that we cannot control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. In fact, much of our emotional suffering stems from trying to influence things outside of our control, leading to feelings of helplessness and resentment. This principle is especially relevant today, when we're constantly bombarded with information, news, and social media that can easily make us feel overwhelmed or powerless. Whether it's political issues, global crises, or even the behavior of others, the Stoic approach is to acknowledge that these things are outside our sphere of influence. Instead of worrying about what we cannot change, we should invest our energy into what we can control, our own actions, attitudes, and decisions. In 2025, begin to practice the Stoic discipline of focusing only on what you can control. Start by accepting that there are things beyond your control, and let go of any attachment to them. By doing so, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and allow yourself to direct your time and effort toward positive actions that align with your values. Ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? Then take action accordingly. Whether it's improving your skills, strengthening relationships, or cultivating inner peace, these are all areas where your effort will have an impact. By releasing the need to control external circumstances, you reclaim your power and begin to focus on what truly matters. In the end, the Stoic lesson is simple. Time is one of your most precious resources. Don't waste it on things you cannot control. Use it wisely to improve yourself and live a life aligned with your values. Number 8. Don't compare yourself to others. One of the most insidious traps we can fall into in modern society is comparing ourselves to others. With the rise of social media, it's easier than ever to see the highlight reels of other people's lives. Whether it's their career achievements, personal milestones, or seemingly perfect appearances. But the Stoics warned against this kind of comparison, as it often leads to unnecessary feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and frustration. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently reminded himself that the only person we should compare ourselves to is the person we were yesterday. Stoicism teaches that your journey is unique, and that your value is not dependent on how you measure up against anyone else. When you compare yourself to others, you risk losing sight of your own goals and potential. You become distracted by external markers of success, which are often not aligned with your personal values. For example, you might see someone's career success and start to doubt your own path, or you might compare your body to someone else's and feel like you're not doing enough. These comparisons distort reality and make you focus on things that are out of your control. Rather than comparing yourself to others, the Stoics encouraged focusing on self-improvement. Your progress, success, and happiness are determined by your own actions, choices, and mindset, not by someone else's. Instead of worrying about how others are doing, ask yourself how you can be better than you were yesterday. In 2025, make a commitment to measuring your worth based on your own growth, not on the external success or failures of others. Every person is on their own path with their own unique challenges, so it's unfair to compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Number 9. Don't let the past dictate your future. One of the most powerful principles of Stoicism is the emphasis on living in the present moment. The past, no matter how meaningful or painful, cannot be changed. The Stoics taught that clinging to the past, whether through regret, guilt, or nostalgia, only prevents us from making the most of the present and future. Seneca famously said, "The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately." By dwelling on past mistakes or lost opportunities, you prevent yourself from fully engaging with the present and embracing the possibilities of tomorrow. When we dwell too much on the past, we often find ourselves trapped in cycles of negative thinking. We might regret decisions we made or ruminate on the what-ifs of past situations. This emotional baggage can prevent us from taking the necessary steps to move forward. The Stoics understood that while it's important to learn from past experiences, the past itself should not be allowed to dictate your future. What happened in the past is over, and the only thing you truly control is how you respond to the present and the future. In 2025, aim to let go of the past's grip on your life. Use it as a teacher, reflect on it, learn from it, but then release it. Focus on what you can do right now, in this moment, to shape your future. It's through present actions and decisions that we can build the life we desire. Don't waste time reliving past failures or lost opportunities. Instead, look ahead with clear eyes and an open mind. Remember, the Stoic belief is that the present moment is all we truly have, and it's in the here and now that our greatest potential lies. Free yourself from the past and use the present to build the future you want. Number 10. Don't let your fears control you. Fear is a powerful emotion that can hold us back in all areas of life. Whether it's fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of the unknown, these anxieties often stop us from taking risks, pursuing our goals, or even stepping outside of our comfort zones. Stoicism teaches us that fear is not an inherent truth but a mental construct, one that we have the power to challenge and overcome. In fact, Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers believed that it's not the fear itself that defines us, but how we respond to it. The Stoics believed that fear arises from a lack of understanding. We fear the things we don't control, the outcomes we can't predict, and the unknowns in our lives. This is why fear often leads us to procrastinate, make poor decisions, or avoid doing the very things that will lead to growth. For example, you might fear starting a new project because you're worried about failing, or you might hesitate to speak up in a meeting because you're afraid of being judged. However, these fears are often exaggerated and do not reflect the reality of the situation. The Stoics taught that by examining our fears, questioning their validity, and recognizing that the worst-case scenario is rarely as bad as we imagine, we can break free from their hold on us. In 2025, if you want to live a life aligned with Stoic principles, you must start by confronting your fears head-on. The Stoics didn't suggest that we eliminate fear altogether. After all, fear can be a helpful signal when it comes to danger. Instead, they advocated for developing the wisdom to differentiate between irrational fears and legitimate concerns. The first step is acknowledging that fear often distorts our perception of reality. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? More often than not, the worst-case scenario is something you can handle, and the fear itself is an illusion. To overcome fear, Stoicism encourages you to take small, deliberate actions. Instead of avoiding the things that scare you, engage with them in a controlled and thoughtful way. Every time you face a fear, whether it's public speaking, pursuing a new career, or confronting a difficult conversation, you grow stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling life's uncertainties. The more you expose yourself to fear and take action despite it, the less control fear will have over you. As you move through 2025, make a conscious effort to take action in spite of your fears. Don't let the fear of failure stop you from starting something new, or the fear of judgment hold you back from expressing your ideas. Instead, recognize fear for what it truly is, a natural but ultimately manageable part of life. By consistently challenging your fears and acting with courage, you'll not only overcome them but will also build the resilience and confidence that Stoicism teaches us to cultivate. Remember, fear is not a barrier, it's a challenge. Embrace it, face it, and use it as an opportunity to grow, and you'll find yourself living with greater freedom and strength than ever before. Number 11. Don't wait for the perfect moment. In a world obsessed with ideal timing and perfect conditions, it's easy to fall into the trap of waiting for everything to align perfectly before taking action. Whether it's waiting for the right time to start a new project, the perfect conditions to begin a fitness routine, or the ideal moment to have an important conversation, the idea of perfection can often prevent us from moving forward. The Stoics, however, understood that the pursuit of perfection is a fool's errand. Life is inherently uncertain and unpredictable. Waiting for the perfect moment often results in missed opportunities, procrastination, and wasted time. The Stoic philosophers, particularly Seneca and Epictetus, emphasized the importance of living in accordance with nature and seizing the moment. "We suffer more in imagination than in reality," said Seneca. By focusing too much on an ideal future or waiting for the perfect moment to act, we prevent ourselves from taking meaningful steps in the present. The Stoics argued that the perfect time to take action is always now, not in some future that may never come. Waiting for ideal conditions often leads to the fear of making mistakes or failing, which is rooted in perfectionism. The Stoics, however, viewed mistakes and failures as valuable learning experiences. They believed that each step we take, no matter how imperfect, brings us closer to wisdom and self-improvement. Rather than waiting for the perfect scenario, we should embrace progress, not perfection. Waiting for everything to be flawless can often lead to a life of inaction, where we end up stagnant, unfulfilled, and full of regrets about the opportunities we let slip away. In 2025, shift your mindset to focus on progress over perfection. Instead of waiting for the right moment, recognize that now is the best time to start. Every day offers new opportunities to move toward your goals, and every small step you take compounds over time. Whether it's learning a new skill, starting a side project, or confronting a personal fear, the act of beginning is the most important step. The Stoics taught that action is always preferable to inaction. Rather than holding off for some mythical perfect time, take initiative and make the most of the present moment. Remember, waiting for perfection can result in nothing at all, while imperfect action leads to real growth. In 2025, resist the temptation to wait for ideal conditions and instead begin today. Your future self will thank you for it. So there you have it, 11 powerful Stoic don'ts to help you live your best life in 2025. Remember, Stoicism is about mastering your own mind, focusing on what you can control, and rejecting the distractions that keep you from growing. If you want to make lasting changes in your life this year, start by incorporating these principles into your daily routine. If you found value in today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on more Stoic wisdom. And let me know in the comments which Stoic don't resonated with you the most. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep growing. Until next time, this is Virtual Stoic, helping you live with purpose and power.